Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're finally going to talk about it.
No, God, please, no!
Okay, how I made my first $1 million. You know, a lot of people are in this YouTube space and they're talking about $1 million a year. I make this and that. They're all, 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds. But when it comes to tax season, they ain't a millionaire anymore. Neither am I, okay? But when it comes to the number million, okay, what I want you guys to know about million is that it's not a number that you should attach me to, okay? On paper, I generate millions of dollars. But for tax reasons, California is taking so much of my freaking money. Screw you, Joe Biden. Screw everyone that's a freaking part of the government. I get it, I make a lot of money, but I work so much harder than these other people out there. Okay, it's not a rant or anything like that, but why do I have to pay so much more money because I'm in a higher tax bracket? And the other Joe Schmoes only have to pay like 20%, 15%. I have to pay 45%, 37%, stuff like that. That's annoying to me, okay? That's first thing first. So when I make my $1 million, I make more than $1 million actually right now. But when I make millions, okay, the thing about it is I have to spend just as much to make sure that at the end of the year, I don't get taxed as much, okay? So I have to have an incentive to buy things. I need to buy things that I don't need. I need to buy cars. I need to buy real estate. I need to buy computers, MacBooks. I need to buy all of this stuff, okay? Because at the end of the year, when it comes to tax season, at the end of the year, they see how much money have you made and how much money have you spent. So I pretty much have to spend, a couple $100,000, actually 300,000, 500,000, 700,000 sometimes to justify my taxes and make sure I'm in a lower tax bracket. Just because I'm generating $1 million, I don't have to spend that money. I don't have to spend the $700,000 on expenses, but I kind of, need to make it a smart move so I don't have to get taxed as much when it comes to tax season. So that's kind of how every entrepreneur is built. I get it. There's a lot of people that are making so much money that $1 million in terms of taxes is not a lot of money to them. But for me, it is, okay? I'm not freaking a billionaire. I'm not Jeff Bezos. I don't make 9 figures, 8 figures. I'm pretty much in the 7-figure mark. And this is something that you guys got to realize, that just because I say I'm a millionaire or I say that I make 7 figures doesn't mean on paper I am a millionaire, because I have to spend the money to justify it for taxes. First and foremost, I want to let that be known because a lot of people love talking. So anyway, let's get into it. So my story pretty much started when I was a bag boy at a grocery store. I was, putting all the groceries in the cart, sweeping the floors, taking out the trashes, cleaning the bathrooms, getting yelled by my boss because my hair was too long and curly. It was a fun time, okay? Yeah, real fun. But long story short, it kind of gave me the idea of how to, look at a job, okay? They had a schedule. They had a thumb printer. And every time you come in, you have to thumb scan your break, thumb scan your clock in, your clock out. How does payroll work? All that stuff. It gave me an idea of how the normal work environment worked. Like, how does a business operate? What are the physical factors or components of a successful business? I was working at a grocery store and they were successful. So I got the idea of how it worked. The second thing that I learned over there is how to be a worker. I was under a boss, and then the boss had an assistant manager. They're all under me. I was the smallest guy in the group. And it gave me an idea of how that was working as well. So it gave me the idea of how to, have an established business, how all the systems and, components operate. And then it also gave me the idea of how to be a worker and how to really just clock in and just be that 9-to-5 guy. So those are the two things that I learned there. It wasn't something that, was fun. It wasn't pleasant. I spent a lot of time and energy there. I didn't celebrate Christmases. They always made me work on those specific days and stuff like that. I'm not complaining. It was actually something that really helped me out in terms of lessons. And yeah, it was just a really good learning environment. So after that, I was working there. I kind of just really, dabbled into some entrepreneurship. I always thought bigger. I loved the exotic things, luxury things. I love expensive things, fun stuff, private jets, helicopters, all that kind of fun stuff. So I was like, man, dude, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it working here. This is just kind of like to, pay for my car or, pay for my gas, pay for my, MacBook. I was doing a MacBook on installments. It's actually this one I'm recording on. It's kind of funny. But I was basically using it just to pay for my little lifestyle. So I was thinking like, listen, bro, I can't be doing this forever. I need to definitely step it up if I really want to make some good money. So at that time I was I was an artist. I was making music and stuff like that, but I wasn't making any money from there either. I was really just messed up in all aspects. So what I did is I kind of just recessed, okay? On my birthday, every birthday, I just look back at myself and see what can I do? What can I implement in my business? What can I do now? What can I start, fresh with? Something like that. Every birthday, there's like a pinnacle shift where I just changed my life. So this birthday, I think it was the 18th or 19th birthday, I said, screw this, man. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to change this. I'm going to change the game. So I found out what I'm good at. So I was good at social media. I liked Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. I liked Twitter, everything. So I was a big social media guy. I had a lot of followers, like not a lot, but like 18,000. For me, it was pretty good. And I had a lot of, engagement. A lot of people were liking, commenting. I had a lot of fans. So I was like, listen, man, I know social media. Okay. And what if I was to offer social media as a service to people? Like, let's just say I grow people's Instagrams because I knew how to do it really well. So what I did is I just threw the offer out there. So I started thinking about like, who would pay me? Maybe a business could pay me because, they need customers on Instagram, blah, 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 blah. And then look, I started with companies. No company ever wanted to work with me ever. So it was a really tough time to really work with these companies because I had no presence. I was just literally sending a copy paste email, changing the name every single time. So, hey, John's Plumbing. Hey, blah, 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 blah. 100 emails a day for 6 months, not a single dime. I didn't make any single money. I didn't do anything. I was just sending emails, and I had a little business partner at that time. He was helping me out too. We were kind of building this business together, but he kind of fell off at the end of the day. Long story short, I was sending emails. I was like, bro, I need some money, or I'll help you grow your Instagram. I would love to work with you. I completely BS my whole thing. I called it media kicks and agency, 25 members, all that kind of stuff. And I was completely BSing just to build some social proof. And then eventually one person, well, after 6 months of working, one person bought, and it wasn't a business because I kind of shifted from businesses to artists and musicians and influencers and social media people in general. One person bought, and I was like, bro, this is the best moment of my life. So I did everything for him. I was literally working like 8 hours a day for him. Just that guy alone. He was paying me about $200 a month. And I did everything for him. I did his graphic editing because I was really good at Photoshop at that time too. I just knew things. So I was really good at Photoshop. I was really good at building the social media. So he was very happy. He stood on with me for like a couple months after that. So that was my first client. I logged him in. I got on Zoom calls, Skype calls, everything like that, conference calls. And I actually played office music in the background of my videos when I was calling him, just think that I was in the office. That was a weird story. But anyways, look, I was really nervous. I was a scared little kid. I made my first $250. I was happy. Next thing you know, that one client turned into a couple, 3, 4 clients. Okay. So I was starting to grow. I was starting to, figure this stuff out. Long story short, I didn't go to their emails anymore. I went to the Instagram DMs. I built my company page. I built my website. I had no idea how to build a website. Google. I found this specific template. I just changed everything up. Like I said, I was good with Photoshop. I added a little bit of my elements in it. I built a website. Cool. Now I got the website. So people were asking me, where's your website? I built it now. I built the Instagram page. So I built a social media, presence. Now I got everything going on here. So the next thing you know, I'm DMing everyone on Instagram, and I'm, sending these messages and trying to find out, how can I get the clients? So I just sending DMs. Long story short, after like a long time, things started catching on. I started, getting more serious with it, and, just really spending more time on it. And I built my catalog. I built my content. I got a couple of, clients from there. 3, 4 clients. I remember this guy's name was like a little poopy or something like that. It was a hilarious name. I got a couple people. I made my first $1,000. After I made my first $1,000, okay, I thought, okay, this is kind of getting cool. My friends were still making fun of me that I started a marketing agency, and my logo was some kind of like a kangaroo thing. It was really cool. I still have the logo today, but they're all making fun of me. They didn't know how to pronounce the name for the company. They thought it was pretty funny, whatever. So long story short, I start the company, I'm kickstarting this stuff, and it's working really good. I came across this software, and the software is helping people just grow on Instagram, thousands of followers a day organically. I'm not going to name the software or anything like that, but it was a freaking killer software. And a lot of people were asking me for it. They're like, hey bro, what's the software name? I'd never give it to anyone. So this was kind of my own little thing. So I scaled so aggressively because everyone knew that my company was doing legit followers. People were actually coming and checking me out and paying for my services, and my company was booming. I was making so much money. So I got all these clients that were paying me every single day. So what happened is that Instagram software kind of just disappeared out of the freaking moon, and Instagram kind of just banned it because they hey buddy, what the heck is going on here? Let me ban this stuff. So they banned it. No one was using the software anymore, and then my company got tanked because I didn't have a service anymore. I was over leveraged. I only had one software service, and I was using that to fund everything. So long story short, I did all that stuff. The company pretty much tanked. Everyone was mad at me. They're like, hey bro, I paid for this service and you didn't give it to me, blah 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 blah. And a lot of people got mad at me because the service died, and so did my company. So the company was gone for I would say 2-3 months. and I didn't know what to do. I was like freaking out, and I got in a lawsuit at that point too. This guy took me to court. The content creator that for the company took me to court because he wanted money as well. I'm like, dude, what the frick? I just got like 100 angry clients at me, and they're all mad at me because the software's gone, and you're trying to get mad at me too. Like, and then he completely freaking betrayed the company. He started, going public. He was like, this company is a scammer. Like, these guys were literally like buying our services, and the guy comes out of nowhere and literally just starts talking about, yeah, this company sucks, I have no affiliation with them. But the guy was literally with me every single day. We used to talk, and he used to make the content. I used to actually edit the content. I did everything. He just made the content. So he was like, yeah, bro, don't talk to this guy's a loser, blah blah blah. So my reputation was really ruined. So I rekindled, like a couple months later, I rekindled everything. I said, screw this, man, I'm gonna do it the right way, and I'm gonna do it without the software. I don't need no software. So we did it again, and we started kickstarting the operations again. And long story short, we just worked freaking very hard. I officially have my marketing agency. Now we have about 20 guys here. We have a sales team, we have an editing team, people that make these kind of videos, people that do the graphics, people do operations now. So we have a full-on professional way of doing things. It's not just based off one software. We have a professional way. We don't just do the Instagram DMs. People come to us now and they're inquiring about our services, and then we have consultation calls and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of structure the business, and I learned a lot about leadership within the time. I'm skipping a lot more that's like within the picture, but long story short, it was a very insane journey. I've made my first $50,000, and then really just scaled from there, and just started just going crazy. Made my first 100, made my first 200, made my first 500, and then just scaled. So I'm now currently we're sitting at a lot of money. The company right now is evaluated at like 2.3 million, and I could literally sell it to an investor. He's already looking at me. He's like emailing me, and I'm like, no, dude, you're not having this company. And now I have investors that come on board too. They want to start new marketing agencies, like partnerships with me, and I'm all for it. So yeah, look, long story short, I literally did this all maybe like 3-4 years from A to Z. I just went ahead and started doing research. A lot of people nowadays are kind of busy with their lives, and they don't have time to sit there and study people and do research on what's working, what's not working, what's the best system to get started, how to do sales, how to structure a CRM, how to do management, all that stuff. People don't want to do that. They rather go to the club, they rather go to the beach, they rather go to the carnival or the fair or whatever, and that's okay. People live that lifestyle. There's less competition for me when there's less competition in the marketplace. I'm totally fine with people living their lives and having a comfortable life. That's cool. Live your paycheck to paycheck. That's not something I'm trying to do. And I'm kind of, thankful that, that life is still existing. Like, not everyone's an entrepreneur, because everyone's an entrepreneur that kind of figure my strategy out, take over my marketplace, and try to compete with me. And I hate competition. So yeah, this is kind of my story, where I've came from, and who I turned into. I learned so much within the last year alone, just literally changed my life. I learned so much about leadership. When I first hired my team, my employees, I had no idea how to structure them, how to have them each have their own work, kind of curriculum, what they need to do on a daily basis, projects, management, all this stuff. I just recently started learning, and there's so much that you have to learn. Every single person in your team has to have something to do and something to be in terms of corporation that they incorporate into their work structure, and you have to kind of assign it to them. You have to find out what's their skill points, what's their weaknesses, and fit them into the skills that they have, and try to find specific people and plug them into a system. And this system is supposed to be a continuous automated system, where if I was to leave for a week, this system would not break down and fall into a million pieces. It would continuously go. So that's the kind of place that we're at right now, and it's been really interesting. It's been really fun. So if you guys have any questions about me or who I am, definitely send me a DM at Ish the CEO. My other account got banned, but you guys could definitely follow me here. Check me out. My story is no crazy story. My whole life I work extremely hard on everything that I've done. I live and breathe my companies that I own. Every single minute of every day, I just think about different ways to improve myself or my company or my employees, to try to figure out and squeeze the most we could possibly do in terms of productivity and profit. So having that being said, guys, I do offer a really cool mentorship program. Like I said, when I was bagging groceries, I used to DM all the cool entrepreneurs I used to follow on Instagram and YouTube. They never DM'd me back, and they were pretty much ignorant. They had high egos and stuff like that. I want to be very genuine and say that, I have a program out there. I don't make money off it. This is nothing that's part of my sources of income. It's just out there because it gives me the clear conscience of knowing that if there's another bag boy, a grocery boy out there that wants to get started with a program or wants to get started with a company or wants to learn from someone that already made millions, and they could teach you step by step on how to skip the failures and skip the hard parts and just go straight to the profits. This is kind of what the program involves. And, it's been really cool. I had, a couple students buy cars. I have a couple of students that are helping their moms pay rent. I have a couple of students that quit jobs. I only have about 60 students, but it's been really, really successful. And a lot of people have a lot of good things to say. Obviously, that's bringing competition to the marketplace, but I have no problem with that as long as, I'm helping people change their lives. That gives me the clear conscience of knowing that I'm having my own marketing agency, but I'm also helping people, change their lives as well. And that's kind of really, powerful to me. At the end of the day, that's something that makes me fulfilled with my life. And I wake up every morning being very proud of what I do. And yeah, if you are interested in joining the mentorship, I literally teach you A to Z how to make your first 6 figures with a marketing agency. I actually made a YouTube video pretty much doing the whole thing from scratch again. If you guys want to watch it, definitely go to my YouTube channel, go to 600 to 100K challenge, go watch that video. You'll see what I'm talking about. I did a 4-part series for about 4 months, literally scaled something from $600 to 100K, and I showed every single transaction. Go watch those videos. But in the meantime, guys, if you want to check it out, if you want to join the mentorship program, linked in below, go check it out. Go talk to me, get on a consultation.